Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the U.S. Army All Brass Big Band.
Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We're very happy that you're able to join us this evening. Tonight we're going to be playing you some wonderful holiday favorites. Most of the songs were done on a 1963 album by the Stan Kenton Band, and they feature, as you'll see, a little different configuration than you're used to when you see a big band. Usually you would see a row of saxophones right here. That's not happening, which is a shame because as many of you know, the saxophones are the most sophisticated of the kazoo bass instruments, wherein one hums, wiggles one's fingers, and wears dark glasses. But we have our mellophone section today, and we're going to, a lot of the arrangements that you're going to hear were done by a wonderful arranger, still alive now at age 85, named Ralph Carmichael. Next thing we're going to do is another one of his arrangements of Otanonbomb. For any of you that might be concerned that I'm going to fall off the stage, I will tell you I have a good 1.5 inches of margin here, and I will promise you if I start to fall, I'll go ahead and do a backflip, so it'll be part of the show. We're going to the instrument that was actually used back in that period of time in the Stan Kenton Orchestra was called a mellophonium, which is a slightly different instrument than the mellophone. It was developed by the Kahn Company in the late 50s and was first seen on the Lawrence Welk Show, the Steve Allen Show. And the first time that Stan Kenton brought a mellophonium into a reading session to see whether it would work, it worked so well that several of the guys threatened to quit the band. It's a wonderful sounding instrument, as I'll demonstrate here. So that's the mellophonium. These guys do a wonderful job of it. We're going to do another one of the Ralph Carmichael arrangements, and this is We Three Kings. Couple of other little tidbits about the mellophonium. Almost all of the mellophonium players back then were trumpet players, and they would have much preferred to have been playing trumpet. So you had an instrument that didn't sound very good, was hard to play in tune, played by guys who didn't want to play it, for a band that didn't want to have them around. So it was always a challenge. The other thing about the mellophonium, because all the guys were trumpet players, and everybody that's playing the mellophone today is a trumpet player except for this young man who is an actual French horn player, which is kind of what the mellophonium and the mellophone are meant to replace, particularly outdoors, the French horn. The fact is that none of the guys that were playing the mellophonium wanted to be playing the instrument. They wanted to be playing trumpet. So what we used to say is, okay, you need to pay your dues, play the mellophonium, and then when a slot comes open in the trumpet section, you can have that. So these guys in the mellophonium section they're all frustrated trumpet players. They have an instrument that can play really, really loudly. The Stan Kenton Band was already known as the loudest big band in the country, so it became rather deafening. But I can tell you now, with modern technology and modern sensibilities, these guys here are always the model of restraint. We're going to be featuring now a arrangement of an old holiday classic, Green Sleeves. This was done by our own Master Sergeant Matt Neese. On the mellophone. Master Sergeant Gil Huffer. You may have heard some timpani coming from an unlikely source. This is Sergeant First Class Glenn Gernard, who plays in our concert band ordinarily, and he's got something called a mallet cat, and it was making the sound of the timpani. It'll make the sound of just about, I think, any percussion instrument in the world. I think we get to hear a bit of that in the tune coming up. This is a version of a song that I'm sure that many of you are familiar with. This is the Ralph Carmichael arrangement of the 12 Days of Christmas. All right, we have a few special guests of the band that I'd like to acknowledge. First of all, the senior enlisted member of the United States Army Band, Pershing's own, one we all look up to, not only because he is a wonderful leader, but also because he's like 6'6". The Command Sergeant Major Mitch Spray right there. We also have one of our trombone players, Victor Barranco. His lovely wife, Adrian, is with us tonight. Our bass player, Reagan Bruff, his wife, Rachel, and son, Ethan, are here. This is Sergeant First Class Graham Breedlove. He's about to play a solo, but before we do that, he had a special bit of information he wanted to get out. He has a friend, a good friend of his, Karen Vianney, and it is actually her birthday tonight. So if we could, and I know we can, how about a little happy birthday for Karen? Happy birthday to you. All right, is it anybody else's birthday tonight? All right, make friends with Graham and we'll hook you up. We're going to feature the trumpet stylings of Sergeant First Class Graham Breedlove on an old Mel Torme tune arranged by Mark Taylor. This is the Christmas song. So in first class, Graham Breedlove. Next song was written by Rodgers and Hammerstein for the musical Sound of Music. Matt Neese has done a jazz arrangement of something that has become a holiday tradition. This is My Favorite Things. First class Graham Breedlove, Master Sergeant Gil Hoffer, Sergeant Major Craig Frederick on the trumpet. We're going to give you a chance to relax and enjoy a beautiful ballad. This is written by Vince Guaraldi. You probably first heard it on a Charlie Brown Christmas special some years ago. Beautiful piece of music and feature Sergeant Major Tony Knocker. This is Christmas Time Is Here. Sergeant Major Tony Knocker. We're having the pleasure of performing a number of arrangements by a very talented man, Master Sergeant Matt Neese, tonight. On this tune, he took the liberty of featuring his own self, which is always a good thing to do when you're an arranger. You put all the work into it. By goodness, you ought to get just a little bit of applause, and you should, because this is Blue Christmas. Master Sergeant Matt Neese, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're going to do something completely different. Right now, this is another Ralph Carmichael arrangement, and it's called The Holly and the Ivy. All right. Continuing on with another Ralph Carmichael tune. This is Good King Wenceslas. Our time with you begins to draw to a close. I do want to mention, most of you have a program right there. If you want to ever find out what's going on with the United States Army Band, the best place is always to check on usarmyband.com. And if you go there too and you look on on the home page, on the left side there's something called Patron Survey. If you would do us the great honor at some point of clicking on that, spending about 30-45 seconds clicking on the various responses, saying how much you enjoyed this performance and how much you're looking forward to seeing us once again. We would certainly appreciate that. We're going to feature now a member of another band. This is Sergeant First Class Todd Harrison, who's been playing drum for us tonight, our normal drummer. If there is such a thing as a normal drummer, could not be with us tonight. We borrowed Todd from the United States Army Field Band, the Jazz Ambassadors. He is an absolutely marvelous drummer, as he's about to demonstrate. We're going to do another arrangement of Matt Neese's, and this is called Big Bad Drummin' Dude. Sergeant First Class Todd Harris on the drums. Victor Bronco on the trombone. Craig Frederick on the trumpet. James Alessio and John Sipe on the soundboard. And thanks to the wonderful and always professional Millennium stage staff and management. Thank you all for coming out. It's been wonderful playing for you. Good night. God bless y'all. Merry Christmas.